All right, everybody, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be breaking down the BYU Cincinnati game that took place on Saturday, November the 22nd, and that's coming up right after this. Welcome back to Just Justin. I am Justin, and we are going to be doing a BYU review, and I have
Riker.
Yep. Riker loves doing this. He asked me, "Oh, Dad, please, can I do it again?"
Oh,
we're going to be breaking down the BYU Cincinnati game. So, big noon kickoff was there. Okay, what did you think of that? Did you see any of it?
I watched the majority of it. I think seeing both big noon kickoff and college game day. I know College Game Day has the bigger brand, but I think Big Noon Kickoff has the more thrill factor, the more interaction with fans as well. So I think it was good. Lots of fans showed up, Cincinnati, of course, but there's also lots of BYU fans there, and they were handing out free Skyline chili hot dogs for breakfast. So I wonder how that turned out for all the fans that were there.
Exactly. I lived in Ohio, but I never had Skyline chili. I don't know. But so... what did you think of one of the commentators that pulled off the Cincinnati sweatshirt?
Dave Portnoy. So Dave Portnoy, he came to BYU, loved it, loved the campus, loved the culture, loved the pizza. He tried to be respectful as he could with the whole culture of BYU that wants to offer. And unfortunately, when BYU played Utah, he picked Utah to win. And then, as we all know, BYU won. Air Bear took off, and since then, Dave's been a believer. He's picked BYU to win. He keeps on doing it. And the fact that he showed up in a jersey, he's only done this. He only wears different teams' gear unless when he's doing Ohio State stuff, because Ohio State's been a big noon kickoff, and he's a big Michigan fan. But he pulled off in a Bear Bachmeier jersey in that environment. That shows that, BYU's becoming that big of a product. Bear Bachmeier is the deal. When we're having a national commentator literally wear his jersey.
Yeah, right. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool, because he's usually, decked out in the home team's gear and stuff. But when he pulled that Cincinnati sweatshirt off and he had Bear's number on, I was like, okay, this is BYU's definitely making a mark now. And Bear Bachmeier, he's doing it. He's just a beast.
Yeah.
Okay? And so the hype of the game, everybody was picking Cincinnati, weren't they?
I would say it's about half and half.
Half and half.
People just didn't believe in BYU and the close wins they had against really good competition. If you really look at it, that Arizona win looks better and better each week, and Cincinnati's at home, they're on a 2-game losing streak. Cincinnati's just gonna run the ball down BYU's throats, that type of stuff. And so I just think it's just the narrative that BYU's always been this underdog and they're gonna slip up eventually, especially that poor performance against Texas Tech.
Yeah, I mean that Texas Tech game, that was a poor performance. But our favorite coach, not really, Urban Meyer, he said when he was picking the teams to win, of course he's never going to pick BYU, he was picking Cincinnati. He's like, it's a night game here in Cincinnati. It's going to be good things happen there, Unfortunately, Urban, it's at nighttime and the Vampire Cougs come out and they usually play good at night. Don't you agree?
I'd agree. BYU's only lost 2 games that have been at nighttime, and one was a fluke and one was just pure domination. But over the past 5 years, only losing 2 games at nighttime is pretty darn impressive, I'd say.
It is darn impressive. Okay, so now let's go ahead. Let's get into the game. So, what did you think of the first half?
First half was a little slow, especially from last week. TCU, they came out super good and super stagnant, or super explosive, but then it was 10-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
End of the first quarter, it was 7-0. I know BYU, I think looking at the game, their game plan was just to control the time of possession, because BYU was ranked top 10 in time of possession per game, and I think Cincinnati was ranked 135th in the whole entire FBS. They were one of the bottom teams in time of possession. So maybe that was BYU's strategy going into the game, but really quiet game.
Yeah, it was a quiet game. I mean, I feel bad for the Cincinnati kicker. He missed, 2 field goals in that first half?
2 field goals in that first half.
And one was off the field goal post, and the other one was, wide left?
Wide left.
And, I felt bad for him because, that gets in your head. He went on and, did 24 straight?
He was 25 of 26 on the season before this game.
Yep, and then he missed a total of 3, but we'll talk about that one here. Okay, so yeah, BYU was going into halftime 10-7.
Yes.
Okay, so the BYU defense, let's talk about that. Cincinnati elected to go for it on BYU's 4, right?
It was, I think, the 7, but it was inside
7?
the 10 again,
Yeah.
like many teams have before.
And they went for it on 4th and 1, and unfortunately BYU stopped them. I mean, that shows you the power of the BYU defensive stand there in the red zone.
Yeah, I was really surprised when teams keep on doing it. Like, I know they want to get momentum and they think they can do it. Like, having trust in your team says a lot, but also there's many things that can go wrong, especially like turning the ball over on downs when you had 3 free points because it was a chip shot field goal, it was a PAT motion right there. And Keanu Tanavasu, he's had an up and down year, but over the past couple of games he's really stepped it up, and he actually got his arm, he got around the center, and he reached his arm to stop momentum. And we had a couple linebackers stop that forced penetration right then and there. It didn't amount to anything.
Right.
But it was able to get them off the field without scoring any points.
Correct. And it just shows that the BYU defense is very staunch when it comes to that goal line, except for the Texas Tech game. But Texas Tech also kicked a lot of field goals.
Well, you look at Texas Tech, we stopped them 5 times inside the red zone, kicking field goals, and they came into the country as one of the hottest teams in the red zone.
Right.
So to that's still when I just don't think the offense really helped there in that Texas Tech game, but we're talking about Cincinnati right now.
Yeah. So the second half, what did you think of the third quarter?
I think the third quarter was good. I think getting that interception on the first drive, putting pressure on Brendan Swarsby because he's only been sacked 4 times this whole entire year.
Yeah.
So putting pressure, QB hits, those type of things, getting him in situations, because I really think that was a bad throw by Brendan Swarsby, even for being a veteran quarterback. Like, you're rolling out of the pocket, that's a tight throw window. That guy's in double coverage. Maybe he didn't see Tanner Wall over the middle, but like, just throw the ball away. It was second down. You still have one more down to play. Like, don't force yourself into those situations.
Yeah, I mean, they came right out of the gate. They did good, and then he threw that interception, and I think that kind of turned the tide for him because he was angry for a lot of the game.
He seemed a little frustrated because I know he's a competitor and who wouldn't want to lose. And being a team with a similar record, they've only lost 3 games on the year. They want to compete, and they knew that they can still have a shot at that Big 12 title chance, even though they lost the week before. And it was just like, it's kind of unfortunate that they get in those situations because the whole week they're like, oh, at Nipper Stadium, it's a night game, like it's a blackout, like it's going to be crazy. But they came in and they just couldn't find success because they usually would run the ball. They got their starting running back, and they had 89 yards in the whole entire game. Cincinnati did. And yes, they did have a lot of passing yards, but some of it was just blown coverage, I'm going to be honest. Like,
blown coverage.
And we missed a pick 6. Evan Johnson slipped on the grass, and he missed that pick 6 they got like 15 yards off of it.
Yeah.
So he was just frustrated on that because he hasn't seen that type of pressure. Besides the Utah game and the games they lost, which was against Nebraska, Utah, and Arizona, the defenses played man coverage, and they were able to have to force Brendan Swarsby to actually like put pressure on him.
Right. And so, BYU came out, and they showed a pretty good dominance right there, right at the top of the third quarter. They ran the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, LJ Martin, he had a career high.
Yeah.
He had 222 yards rushing, and he also had 266 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, on 3 reception, 44 yards. Big third down plays when he got it going.
Yep, and towards the end of the game, the fourth quarter, BYU was just running the clock out, and he breaks off for his second touchdown. How long was that touchdown?
It was 33 yards.
Yeah, 33 yards. He ran for his second touchdown of the game. So at halftime, I wrote on my blog that he should get 150 yards and at least 2 touchdowns in the second half, and he did, actually.
Yeah, because Bear Bachmeier had that first touchdown, and Bear should have had that second running touchdown, but got caught short, and so we just gave it we missed that defensive tackle on that touchdown pass by Bear, so we're like, okay, it's 3rd and goal, let's just give it to LJ. But I think the power, especially he's been banged up the past couple of weeks, running the ball like 34 times, and he looked shaky, but he was just a fighter. Like, some of the hits, you go back and watch those games. Hopefully when the cut comes out, you'll see some of the big hits. Like, one play, a mouth guard flew out of someone's mouth, and we're like, oh, crap, I hope that's not LJ. But it was actually the defender because he came in so hard, and LJ just gave him the shoulder, and like his head just got knocked back. And he's just I think RG3 said he's the Provo bulldozer, just running over people. Yeah,
and there was even a point in the game where he wanted to go out because he was limping. but the coaches said stay in, and it didn't look like he was limping after that.
He ran it for like 6 yards and stuff, and hopefully they're banged up, but like it was a good, like it's 26-14, but the refs took away a touchdown, a scoop and score. It was an obvious fumble, but they took it away. They blew the whistle prematurely. Mm-hmm. They can always go back and review that. And then one of the Cincinnati's first touchdown, freaking the special teams just lapsed on a horrible punt coverage. Poison rolled and like literally gave him an alleyway for you got to surround the ball in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, the Cincinnati player was like, stay away, and he went and scooped it up. And
maybe to the players, because, playing special teams, you hear something, they're like, okay, yeah, they said poison, they're not going to touch it, so they gave an opportunity, and then they just lapsed, but...
Right, so let's go ahead and let's talk some stats here really quick. I'm just going to pull that up here. It was up, but my phone went away. Okay, so the total plays of the game, okay? BYU had 74, and Cincinnati only had 61. Did that surprise you?
No, it looked like it in the game. Like, you look at the time of possession. Like, say the time of possession real quick.
The time of possession was 38 minutes and 25 seconds for BYU and 21 minutes and 35 seconds for Cincinnati.
And that was, at the end of the third quarter, it was 30 minutes for BYU and about 15 minutes for Cincinnati. So if you look at that, you understand that, like, BYU ran a lot more plays than Cincinnati. They
controlled the clock. Okay, so the yards, they were pretty close, 392 to 387.
Yeah.
Yards per play. BYU actually only had 5.3, and Cincy had 6.3.
That doesn't surprise me. A lot of the LJ's runs were short, and we had a couple screen passes that were short. And you look at Cincinnati's 2 touchdowns; they were 20+ yards, and they had a big couple breakaways. But
yeah. All right, and so let's see here. Rushing yards, 265 for BYU and 87 for Cincinnati. That was kind of shocking because the top running back was back.
He was back, and they averaged about 189 rushing yards per game coming into this game. This was the first time they got held underneath 100 yards a couple years. So it was a pretty impressive defensive stand from our front 7, I would say.
Oh, yeah, it was a totally good defensive stand. First downs, 24 to 19. That's
fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Third down, BYU was 7 for 14 for 50%. And Cincy was 4 for 13. Does that kind of surprise you?
Not at all. Like, BYU's been, you look at the numbers, like, all these teams have been good on third downs throughout the year, but, like, you look at Utah game, Utah struggled on third and fourth down. They were coming as one of the best teams in the country. Cincinnati the same way. TCU was amazing at third down and fourth down. They didn't get any. They were like 1 for 12 last week. So, like, our defense, they really step it up, and they know their assignment. They got to win that one-on-one battle. So that third down conversion percentage doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
All right, and then the fumbles lost. Cincinnati lost one. That fumble towards, was it the fourth quarter?
It was the fourth quarter, 6 minutes left on, like, inside the 20.
And the interceptions, Cincinnati threw one. Penalties. Now, it was a pretty good, clean game. BYU only had 3 penalties for 21 yards, and Cincinnati had 5 for 40.
Yeah. Yes.
And, so the time of possession, I mean, BYU almost had it for 39 minutes of the game.
And you're going to win most ball games if you have the ball for 40 minutes.
Uh-huh.
It's in the offense hands. You give your defense plenty of time to rest. Yeah, sure, your offensive guys get tired, but when I played high school, like, you usually sub out the defensive tackles, but your offensive linemen, you just stay in there because you just know how to work, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Chase Roberts also went out of the game with a hamstring. Was it a hamstring?
Hamstring injury. There's been some speculations that it was kind of lingering, and so, like, they were just doing, like, a precautionary tell, like when LJ hurt his shoulder against Iowa State, or Isaiah Glasker got banged up. I think it was the Arizona game, or it was the game before that against West Virginia. Like, you just take a precautionary tell just to make sure that, like, imagine, like, LJ or Chase Roberts, because hamstrings are easy to snap. They just take it lingering. We trust the offense. The scheme was to run the ball. That's clearly what it was. LJ felt healthy. Bear didn't look good on the air. So, like, take Chase out, get another guy in there, and then let's just make sure he's rested and saved up for the next couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, Bear, speaking of Bear, oh, by the way, if you didn't know, he's a true freshman.
He really?
Yeah, he is.
Dang, I never know that before.
Okay, so take Bear. How many times did he get hit?
I think the graphic said 16 times.
Yeah, 16 times he got hit. And one of those hits, he came out of the game, and he was in pain.
Yeah, I think the ab lib, I'm not good at reading lips, but it said something like, he was saying like mother truck stop or something. Like it looked like I don't know. I don't think language like that is acceptable, but it kind of looked like he was saying mother truck or something. Like
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a minute. But he came out, he was in pain, but he came back in the game. I mean, when he runs, he hits hard. He weighs as much as LJ?
Yeah, they about weigh the same. I think it's like 230 around there.
And they both hit hard. I mean, LJ Martin, he had some great runs. You thought he was down, but he popped out and ran for...
His legs just keep on moving. Like, you look back at those replays, I'm like, I remember first, it was like 3rd and 7, we're running the ball. He gets 4 yards. I think the play's dead. He literally just keeps moving, uses momentum, and goes for like another 8 yards. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, Bear, with being a freshman, a true freshman, he's going to be here if he stays at BYU for a long time and doesn't go into the draft. I guess he can go into the draft his junior year.
Yeah, after his junior year.
But he's going to be evolving into be a good football player. Speaking of good football players, Taysom Hill, Zach Wilson, Steve Young, and Bear were all tied to having the most quarterback run touchdowns in the season. And Bear broke that yesterday when he ran for that 11th touchdown.
Yes, he did.
So, and there's still one more game to go in the regular season, so he could surpass that record a little bit more.
And we got conference championship game and maybe a deep playoff run if it looks like it. So
yeah. So let's talk about the conference championship game. Okay, even though BYU won yesterday, they didn't clinch it because Colorado lost to Arizona State. So what do you think of their chances?
Right now they're at like a 96% chance. There's 4 teams that can make the conference championship game. Texas Tech, BYU, Utah, Arizona State. Texas Tech wins at West Virginia, they're in. BYU wins at UCF, they're in. It happened, Texas Tech and BYU both lose, and then Utah and Arizona both win. I think it's going to be Texas Tech, Arizona State. There's lots of scenarios, but BYU doesn't need to worry about that because they just got to beat 5 and 6 UCF.
Yep.
Which they struggled against Oklahoma State. That hasn't won a conference game since they beat BYU in double overtime.
729
days ago.
Yeah.
Which Oklahoma State, they were one snap away from the college football playoff that year, and they haven't won a game since in conference. But they beat an SEC team, so is the SEC really that dominant of a conference if Oklahoma State's beating you?
Okay, so but before we get into some other things, I think Cincinnati, it was a good team. I mean, I wish I could have gone to that game because, Cincinnati, it's always a great city to visit and things like that. They have some great culture there. But I think that Cincinnati, they had taken a beating the last couple of weeks, losing to Utah and Arizona. But Cincinnati, they're good teams. I'm not going to knock them down like they're crap and stuff. But they are a good team, and they have a lot of potential. I mean, the Kelsey brothers went there. Jason and Travis, they went there. So
yeah, they were the first group of 5 team to make the playoff. Especially when you think about, like, they got wrecked by Alabama, but that was when the playoff was a 4-team playoff.
Yeah.
They'd had a different feel. They had a different coach, but Scott Satterfield's turned that program around. They were 4-7 last year, and now they've won 7+ games.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty impressive. And they've only lost to Power 4 conferences. Like, they lost to Utah, BYU, Arizona, and Nebraska.
Yeah.
Like, that's impressive. Like, and they switched from Group of 5, and you know how hard of a transition it is to switch from Group of 5 to Power 4. Like, it's tough. People take tolls, but I think they have good stuff. And Nippert Stadium's a beautiful stadium. It's open all the time. People walk through campus all the time, and so I think NIL funds. I think Jason and Travis will definitely probably already, or they might continue to push forward because who doesn't want to see your college team win games?
Yeah, exactly. So Cincinnati was a good team. BYU came in, they controlled the ball and they came out the winning. So here's the subject that I'm going to touch on. I'm going to get Riker's opinion here, but Cincinnati's fan base, okay, they did a classy move and they were chanting "F the Mormons," What did you think of that?
I just think it's like stupid. Like it's been done before. It's done again. Like a fan base would never say F the Catholics, F the Southern Methodist, F the Protestants, or F the Jews. Like none of the other people would do that.
No.
And it's like a soaking joke. Like it's so like come up with something else. Make it rhyme. Like FU BYU. You know what I'm saying? Like make something else. It's just people have done it before, and they get fined $50,000, and that's a lot of money. That's like almost, that would probably be equivalent to all the concessions they make at a game or something like that, right? And it doesn't hurt. It hurts the team more than anything. And you look classless.
Yeah.
Like you look, especially after the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints donated 27,000 tons
To
a local school food bank.
To the school.
To the school food bank.
Yeah.
And they did a coat drive before the game for the BYU alumni, because they do every single time they go on a road trip for football or basketball, the Alumni Association for BYU, on top of what they do, they also do a book drive they did in Texas Tech, Lubbock, and they did a coat drive here in Nippert Stadium this past week. So you can say all the stuff you want. Say F BYU, say F Utah, F Bear Bachmeier, like who wouldn't, but don't say F the Mormons, because first, it's just discrimination. It's wrong. We live in the 21st century. If you're discriminating, like, get a life.
Yeah, get a life. I mean, it's stupid. You might not agree with what the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints stands for, but that's your choice. But you don't have to chant that kind of stuff at a game. But anyway, that's what I have. But do you have anything else?
I know 26-14 doesn't seem like that big of a margin. Honestly, it should have been like 34, maybe even 7 range. But, things happen and like lapses happen and different calls. But BYU looked dominant. They knew the game plan. They didn't need to run up the score. They didn't need to score style points because, like, they're a good team. They just beat a 7-3 team on the road. 7-4 now, but they beat them on the road. That they don't really lose at home a lot.
Yeah.
And they were 2.5-point favorites. Like, it's disrespectful. They were 2.5-point favorites last week against TCU. Look what happened. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I know Vegas is spread and they're trying to make money and stuff. It's a bait almost, but, like, put some respect on these guys' name. Like, they work hard. They have a good system. They try to do their best, and they're one of the top dogs in the country, proven. I think they just got to show up against Texas Tech if they want to shot at the college football playoff.
Right.
Because we got to think about UCF, and I know that Kalani Sitake said one game at a time, but us as fans, we're not in the room. We're not working hard at that. We want to see them go to Arlington. We want to see them go to imagine we beat Texas Tech in Arlington and we get to host a college football playoff game at LaVell Edwards Stadium in the winter. That place is going to be bumping. Like a night game,
it is.
20 degrees. Like, I would love to get tickets there. Probably have to take out a loan or sell my car or, I don't know, sell a kidney. But it would be worth it because, there's little opportunities that you're going to see a team success, especially this is their 3rd year in Power Conference. And people say, oh, they were independent. They had a... No. That's Utah fans, by the way. We love them, but, like, it's different because we were playing UMass, UBA. We played some. Like, one year we beat all 5 Pac-12 teams we played.
Yeah.
But other years we're playing UMass. It's a different transition. Money. Like, an athlete, do you want to go to an independent BYU that's going to play North Texas, even though they're having a great year this year? Or you rather go to, like, a Power 5 team that's going to be playing, like, Oregon, Washington, Arizona State, right? So it's hard to get in-state recruit. Now you're seeing that BYU's better. We got a 4-star now. He should have been a 5-star, but Ryder Lyons came. AJ DeBonsa came for basketball. Like, our women's team took 2nd at nationals. Our true freshman runner took 2nd place overall to the defending national champions. Our men's club team in soccer won. Soccer made it to the Sweet 16 in the tournament. Volleyball sweep the number 11 team Kansas in the nation. Like, basketball beat Wisconsin by 28 points. Like, BYU's on up and up, and I hope people start realizing it. Like, this ain't the Mountain West teams back in the day. No. This is a powerhouse team, and with the alumni support, not tithing money,
yes,
alumni network, because I have inside sources that no tithing money is used for athletics because it's a separate entity, because that's how every college athletics, because imagine if my taxpayer monies went to pay for some kid's Lamborghini, I would be pretty mad too, right? It's on the up and up, and people need to start putting respect on that name, and they should be in a conversation with, and the biases should be out of the way. Like, if you're a Power 14, you should, it doesn't matter. Like, guess what? Alabama lost to Florida State. They suck. They're an awful team, and they got wrecked by Florida State. But that happened at the beginning of the season. Take that away. Pure resume, pure dominance, it doesn't matter. Because you can do all these hypotheticals, but BYU, Utah, Texas Tech, they can hang with the big dogs.
They can.
Any given Saturday. And I believe that.
Yep, so do I. And so, just like in my thoughts video, I said, Kalani Sitake, he's a classic guy. He's not going to run up the score. I think he could have ran up the score a little bit.
He got mad at LJ for scoring that touchdown.
Yeah, but because he doesn't care about style points and blowing the teams out. He just wants to make sure they win the game and
build character for
character.
men into the future, because football's just a game. He wants to. His former coach got him to coaching Lavelle Edwards. He wants to be like him. He wants to raise men. He wants to get boys on his team and raise them to the men and contribute to society.
Because it's not all about victory and celebration and celebrating yourself. It's all a team thing. Okay? So, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it.
All right. So, yeah, that is it for today's Cincinnati review. Just remember that Just Justin is a no-niche channel.
Yes.
What is a no-niche channel?
No niche means there's no specific thing. Cooking videos, sports, tech, movies, traveling videos, all that stuff is right there, because it's just about Justin.
That's
Because
right.
the world revolves around him.
That's right. All right, so until the next one, you guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notifications, and until the next one, I'll see you later. Bye.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. BYU football and other videos here on Just Justin. Subscribe and watch that other video.